Okay, going live. We're live. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next installment of Security on the In30 Network. We are at episode 71, I think, and I guess we're just coming down from that holiday and everything else. So there's not real news. CES just finished, so all the shiny's been there, but no one's really banging on stuff. No one knows what's going on with Sony. We have no news. Just nothing. We're just holding steady. But we did come across a How to Geek article recently that said we tried, for your benefit, to see what happens when you install the top 10 free apps. And it warned you. There was no clickbaity here. The results are really bad. But right before we get there, right before we introduce Tom, we got a comment on one of our earlier shows with Secure Instant Messenger, and the commenter said, we did not talk about TextSecure, which Tom and I both said we swore we did. So, yeah, we're throwing TextSecure into the mix for a really good, positive, everything done right, text messaging, text chatting app. Right, Tom?
It's really close to perfect. And I apologize in advance. I seem to be having bandwidth issues tonight, so thank you, local ISP.
Is your internet half fast? Do you know that joke?
I have not heard that one, no.
So Verizon Fios is running an ad saying, how's your internet? And they go, how's that upload speed? Well, it's half of what I should be, of my download speed. So the other guy says, so it's half fast? And it's a marketing ploy to say that Fios is symmetrical and the cable companies are not. So it was good the first time, but it was bad this subsequent times. Well, no. TextSecure is, what's it called? It's the Open Whisper system. It was the Marlinspike.
Moxie Marlinspike.
It was his app that now WhatsApp is licensing the technology from. And ChatSecure, same thing. It's that Open Whisper systems.
Yep.
So, no, TextSecure is a big thumbs up in our book.
Yeah, TextSecure is fantastic. Now, yeah, it's by Open Whisper Systems. They also make Red Phone, which is an encrypted phone call application. TextSecure is really awesome. It gets the check marks all the way across the board, encrypted by default, encrypted in transit, encrypted so the provider can't read it. It's really secure. So if you're looking for something where you can send text messages, but you want to maintain security, privacy, and all that good stuff, TextSecure is really going to be your best bet.
So, I mean, yeah, we throw our hat in there. I'm sure we spoke about it. I don't know why. Maybe we just forgot. But no, we like it. So,
I mean, there's a lot of programs we talked about.
Well, so on this episode, we're talking about the top 10 apps. How to Geek, I guess, for our benefit, said, I guess got fed up or heard what people were talking about with all this, not spyware. It's not called spyware. It's maybe called, I don't know what they call it, advertisingware. I guess
it's general crapware is what I would classify it as.
I mean, and so they said, what happens if you let's look at the top download.com or cnet.com top 10 downloaded apps, and we're just going to install them. We're just going to hit next through all that good stuff.
And they weren't approaching this from the viewpoint of a computer power user or the viewpoint of someone who cares about security or the integrity or usability of their system. They were going at this as, I am this guy's mother or his grandmother. I'm just going to click next until the thing I downloaded installs.
Well, this goes back to the story of Jessica that we spoke about a few weeks ago. But yep. I mean, I tell my mom, you got to, shoot, you don't have the Google Talk plugin to see the video. You're going to have to install that. And she goes, well, what do I do? And just me saying this, you know what? I don't want her reading to me the end user license agreement because she will read it out loud. I say, you know what?
She's probably the only person.
Oh, we lost Tom.
do
No,
that.
she will read it. No, she will read it.
Probably
Whereas a lot of people will just not. They will just skip over it. So I tell her, click
Right.
any sort of affirmative command. Because with my mother, if you said hit OK and the word is next, she'll get stuck. So you got to tell her, please hit any affirmative command. A yes, an OK, a next, get started, a skip, whatever it is. So that's her. She would install this, and the results are really bad. Is Tom there?
I think I'm here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So yeah, in download.com, they built their brand. There were a lot of download websites back in the day, a ton of download websites where you could get any amount of software for just about any purpose. But a lot of these sites were hosting malware, or they didn't check the files that were being uploaded. They didn't do any sort of protection scheme or make sure they were safe before people went and installed this stuff. They just hosted it. So download.com started out and they said, hey, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to make sure everything we host is 100% safe. It's not malware. It won't be a virus. It won't mess up your system. We're only going to host high-quality software that you can use on your machine. And when it first started, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. Over the years, they've gotten lazy and they've gotten a lot bigger, and frankly, they can't have an editor check every piece of software that comes through the door. They just have to let some things go and run an automated virus scan, which isn't going to catch all the annoying stuff. It's certainly not going to catch the stuff that's not classified as malware, but it'll still mess up your system.
And look, I think I remember there were so many, like you said, back in the day, that's where you would go to find something. Unfortunately, a lot of the times, I never liked it because it ended up being a lot of freeware or trialware, and I just it was at best. It was just okay. I got this. So and I'm looking through this list, and I don't know any of these things. I'm looking at it. I was telling Tom before. Let me see this list. I know some of them, but so the number one app, Avast Free Antivirus 2015. Then AVG Antivirus Free 2015, KM Player, Yak, CCleaner, YTD. CCleaner we've heard about, and that's a great app. YTD Video Downloader, free YouTube downloader, Drive Booster 2, Advanced System Care free, IOBit uninstaller. And you know what these all basically have in common, Tom?
They are security, cleaner, performance booster, computer protector applications, and then there are a couple media players and downloaders.
So we have stuff to protect your computer, to steal content, and I think that's it. Yeah, to protect your computer from the stolen content that you just downloaded.
Yes.
So yeah, and what they did is they did the right thing. They opened up a free, a brand new virtual machine of, I guess, Windows 7 they were testing. Doesn't matter. And they just hit next to everything. And what they found out was, let's take the first one. They said that you don't run two antiviruses at the same time, and you don't install them definitely. So they chose Avast over AVG, and Dropbox was just magically installed. And they said, well, Dropbox is great. We recommend it, but it didn't ask us for it. And that's another issue. It's that whether the app is good or not, I mean, it could be a great app. If it doesn't ask you, or it doesn't like throw a big flashing signs, are you sure you want to throw this extraneous app into the mix? It's not a good idea. Because you may have Dropbox installed. It may cause problems. Who knows? So they're doing this, and I'm sure Dropbox is paying them. But either way, it's bundled in, and it's not good.
And again, I apologize for my internet situation. It is really bad tonight.
Look, it always happens. So it's a good thing I can just read the article if you end up getting. So then the next one is Avast. Now that we have Avast KM Player, and if you go to, now this is a visual, so I'll put this in the show notes. the installer enabled icon on download.com now, I guess that's one of their weird system settings, is grayed out. So you just click download now. But again, nobody tells you that this is good, this is bad, so you just click download. And you get thrown in, you get one license agreement, which, again, no one reads. And everyone should read it, but no one reads it. And then it brings up another one for something called Pro PC Cleaner. Who knows what that is? So, again, you hit agree and install. Oh, there's another one? Okay. Maybe I didn't hit it. Maybe, I don't know, I have to do it again. Agree and install. So now you've installed this other thing. And it just keeps on going. And I think at some point, one of them had a not responsive issue. The program crashed. And then later on, the virus scans started fighting against each other and said, oh, by the way, you're installing malware. And then the other one's like, no, but you're installing malware. They just started fighting.
Yeah, some of this stuff, I mean, a lot of it, and if you've been working in IT or you've dealt with messed up computers, you know, sometimes you'll go to a really messed up computer and you'll go to search on something on Google. You'll be like, I need to get Malwarebytes on here. I need to get Combo Fix to clean this stuff up. But it'll take your search results, and instead of going to Google, or let's say maybe even if you have Bing set as your default for some reason, instead of taking you to your normal search page, it takes you to like something weird, like protectedsearch.net or something. Don't go there. I don't know if that's a real thing. But it takes you to some weird website that you've never heard of before, and it's got ads all over the page, and maybe some search results in there if you're lucky. But that's called browser hijacking, and it's a really, really nasty form of adware because it's horrible to try to get rid of. Some of them are easy, and you can just uninstall it, and then it's out of your sight. I wouldn't say it's gone because I cannot confirm that you can actually totally get rid of those things.
I mean, I feel what happens. Well, I feel what happens is that Tom's in and out, but yeah, these browser hijacks. I think if they want to get listed in download.com, they have to make it as I don't want to say as easy to uninstall, but they're not hard to uninstall. But again, you don't know what remnants are left. But again, nobody's just going to uninstall it. They see something, oh, the Google page just went away, but here's a big white text box. What's the difference? So Tom's shaking his head yes.
Right.
Or you go to the Internet Explorer add-ons page, which is really confusing, by the way. Or you go and somehow it only seems to target IE. I mean, every once in a while, Chrome gets the website hijacked, but I think it's easy enough to
Conduit has been targeting Chrome in their recent installers, and that was a pain to get rid of. That was really annoying. Every time you would get rid of it, it would come back. It was horribly annoying.
Well, what I love is that when you go through the uninstaller, so you get this, you go to the uninstaller, and it says, "Why? Please give us 1,000 words on why you want to uninstall this." And if you don't give them whatever they're asking for, this 300-question survey or whatever it is, it doesn't uninstall. So people just hit the X on the corner and move on, and it comes back a day or two later. And that's essentially the problem. So what do people end up doing? They're like, "Oh, my computer is so infested. Let me just buy a new computer."
Or you don't need to buy another antivirus or download another free antivirus on download.com.
And the problem is what's going on here. What the underlying reason is, if this is free software, the person making the software needs to eat just like you and I do. So if you're not going to pay for it, they're going to subsidize it. So another company says, "Hey, we'll give you money to be prominently displayed, and we'll put a checkbox, do this, do that, but keep it checked by default." So no one's going to take it. No one's going to be guilty to it. They're just going to say, "Well, there's a checkbox. You should have just unchecked it. It was very simple." But no one does.
You know, on all of your Java updates now that you all are running because you're very security conscious and you need to make sure Java's updated if you have it installed at all. And if you don't, good on you. But you know the Java updates that came with the Ask toolbar, or
Well, Tom's saying, so when you get the Java update,
a ton of money, but
so what Tom's saying is, yeah, so Ask.com went to Oracle and said, can you put us on? And in the Java, so when you install Java now, it says, would you like to install the Ask.com toolbar? And if you're not vigilant, it gets installed, and then you just want to do a facepalm because, oh, I got it installed again, or Grandma got it installed. And it's not hard to get rid of, but it's just one of those things that, come on, guys. Larry Ellison, you own an island in Hawaii. Just take it off. Like, you bought
he
it
doesn't need any more money.
Like, you bought it from Sun. You bought it. I forgot his name now. You bought it from Sun. It was free. And the best thing that Sun did is say you can't charge money for it. So what they did is they found another way to do it. Put some ad. I'd rather you put an ad or two on your page. Don't put an Ask.com toolbar that hijacks everything. So
yeah.
Well, in the last few minutes, I mean, wow. I thought we had a few more minutes. We were just going and going and going. We have a while left, but it's then, so going back to, so now you got your computer, you've installed all these 10, and they said, look, the results are not pretty. Now you have to go, now you have this next to your time on the right side, at least this is on Windows, you have 30 different apps, or you have 10 different apps and all their ancillary things. All this stuff loads up on startup, and they consistently run. And if you read through what they mean, they're all helpers. So what it is let's install this little petty application that will run in the background just in case you decide to open the main app. It will cache something. It will do whatever it takes to make it load 1 second faster, whatever it is. But in the meantime, you're expending that resource on all these little things constantly every time you do something. So then I want to ask, does it make a difference? And generally the answer is no. You might as well save the time.
It causes more problems than it tries to fix.
Maybe it will load 1 second faster if it was the only thing. The Real Player helper. Maybe Real Player would load 1 second faster if it was the only thing.
People use Real Player?
Well, I remember that as the culprit. Yeah, I saw something about Real Player, I don't know, a year ago. I don't know. There has to be someone.
Probably the worst offender on this list is this YouTube download.
Well, they're making money.
They're doing.
Say it again. What are they doing? Oh, Tom's cutting in and out. What I love, like Tom said, the YouTube download. You're stealing content and it's making money off it. So I don't know how to go with that, but it's just it's mind-boggling. And then what do you do? Then you go on late night TV and you see PC Optimizer, which I love too.
That's my favorite.
Will make your computer fast, and all it does, if it does its job at all, it just turns all those things off. Hopefully it does. And on that list, Here's the thing that I hate. CCleaner is on that list. CCleaner is an awesome app.
CCleaner's great. I do like CCleaner.
And I don't remember the last time I installed CCleaner, but I don't remember having all this nonsense questions of would you want to install it. So it gets marred by the fact that it's listed behind all those. Not that Avast is bad or AVG is bad, but it's one of those. Okay, you have those two on there. They're antivirus, and I keep on going back to people. Antivirus means that a virus already got on your system, and at that point you've lost everything. It's better just to be aware of what's going on, and let Windows do its thing. You have Windows Security Essentials. What's up?
If you get a virus in your machine, you're way safer to just reinstall Windows than you are trying to fight the thing.
And you could probably do it faster if you spend the time now. Spend Friday night backing up your system in the right way, and have everything ready to go. And I bet you will save more time just saying, you know what? Let me just reinstall the system. I have all the files. Download them all. You know what? It's a spring cleaning, and you'll probably be done faster than the virus scan takes to check. Then you have to reboot, and then you're going to run some more virus scans and everything else. It'll take you 5 hours either way. You might as well start fresh.
And I'm hoping my internet problems may be over. And let me know if this is coming through okay.
So no, it is. So far we're good. So
okay.
It's remember, Windows on every update Tuesday has their Microsoft malicious anti something or other that works on the restart.
The malicious software removal kit.
Yeah. And
it's great.
It's not taking off every virus, but it knows the known ones, and it's going after those. Then you have Security Essentials. Let that run a Friday night while you're out to dinner.
And you know, if you're feeling really rambunctious, every couple weeks, download the latest Malwarebytes update, the free one. You don't have to pay for it, and just scan it. Malwarebytes does a great job of finding stuff and cleaning it up. There's some false positives in there, but it's pretty good. If there's a machine that you absolutely have to get cleaned up so you can get data off of it so you can reinstall Windows, Combo Fix also does a great job. It's kind of the nuclear option, so be careful with it.
Well, and I tell people say, which virus scan should I download? And I say, none of them. Just honestly, just be aware of what you're doing. The best thing you can do,
something other than IE.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying, Firefox or Chrome, and just be careful where you click. Yes, we've all gotten viruses. We've all had to deal with it. The question is, how have you dealt with it? Did you back up? If you backed up, it's not the end of the world.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, now we have the double Tom. You're getting a double dose of Tom. So the other issue is, we've recommended a thing in the past called a website called Ninite. So I don't know if they knew about this or what have you, but what Ninite does is it says, oh, here are the most popular programs, and we vetted them to make sure. Now they actually vetted them to make sure there's no ancillary programs being installed, and they present you with a list. When you're installing a new system, load up a USB key, download this installer, you check the boxes of all the programs you want, and there's some trialware. I think there's like a 365 30-day Microsoft 365 trialware. There's some trialwares, but for the most part, it's all free software, or maybe they have some deal that if you download it from them, it's free. And put on this installer and take it wherever. So if you're deploying 100 computers, you can install the same thing. And it does next through everything. So if it has a download helper, you'll probably get it. But it's not going to install any third-party software.
Right. And occasionally they've had issues with some software that snuck stuff in, but for the most part, Ninite's been fantastic. One thing that I did want to mention about that YouTube downloader is that they were taking all of your web traffic and putting it into a proxy that they run. So they were taking all of your web traffic and shipping it off somewhere else, watching everything you do.
Wow. No, I didn't see that, but yes, yeah. I mean, that was the other thing. We said to stay safe is don't install Java, and if you don't install Java, you won't get the Ask.com toolbar. So think of it that way.
And on the plus side to that, you won't have Java either, which is really the more secure.
It's just better overall, unless you need Java. Unless you're playing Minecraft, unless you're playing Minecraft, you know what? I don't know if there's another use for Java.
Yeah, I can't think of any, frankly. It's really fallen out of support for for Flash started to kill it off, and now HTML5 is finishing the job. So we can only hope that Java just disappears sometime in the next couple years.
So
I don't think it will, but we can hope.
Well, I have a job as long as I'm teaching Java. I'll have to move on to the next programming language.
Oh no, move to Python. It's way better. So much fun.
So I want to learn all my .js files, and here's the other interesting thing, and we keep on saying this. if there has to be a reason why a program is free, unless it's a flashlight app that somebody's doing for their senior project or something really simple that makes sense. You got to ask yourself, why is this app free? And if you can't answer that, we kept on saying you're the product. They're going to show you ads. They're going to show you this, and the more they can guarantee that you're going to see this, the more money people are going to be willing to pay. So in this case, Java is run on 3 billion devices. So if they went to ask and said, oh, by the way, everyone needs to install this, everyone's going to need to update, we have such security violations, they're going to have to do this over and over again. If we just have that box checked, you know what? We can get you this many millions of downloads. And Ask.com ate it up, paid them the money, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's really sad. I wish they wouldn't have done that. And recently they've changed their tune, and I don't think it's included with every download you get, at least not with the updates. But they've heard people complain loud enough that they're starting to look at that practice and kind of backing off a bit. But it's one of the reasons why, and this is, depending on how you look at it, either fortunate or unfortunate, that Apple has decided, hey, look, on our desktop platform and on the phones, no one can run out and just install anything unless you get a big scary pop-up that warns you a whole bunch. On the phone, you can't do it at all unless you jailbreak the thing. But we're going to have this nice, neat app store, and we're going to make sure that these apps aren't going to do these.
And we lost Tom.
Break your system and fundamentally take over that.
Well,
Internet.
and that was another topic that I wanted to discuss, maybe on another show, is using your phone to pay your bills and other little payment methods more secure than using the computer. That's for another show. But again, it's one of those things, and Tom and I have been talking back and forth about, I need a new computer, and should I go Mac, should I go PC? I personally don't care. It doesn't affect me positively or negatively, but I will say, since I've had my Mac, I didn't really have to worry about this. Yeah, I'm not going to go install anything just crazy, but I didn't have to worry about, installing this, installing that, and it's probably because the install base is so low, and there's no Mac virus developers. I mean, they're starting to come. But I was happy about that. And then I go troubleshoot someone's PC, and I remember why I don't have to worry about this. Is it worth paying what we call the Apple tax? In my case, I don't know. I was telling Tom, when Windows 10 comes out, probably it's time to go back. I can get a lot more bang for my money. But you know what? I've been happy, and if you're one of those people that are really gullible, maybe the Mac is the way to go. But
I apologize for probably the last time. Net neutrality cannot come fast enough.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know, there's too many people watching Netflix tonight or whatever it is. We've all had these issues, and I think Tom's done for the last time. But anyway, I'm going to end it now. Tom says goodbye. Again, when you download stuff, read what you're downloading. That's the problem. Just read it. Make sure you're not downloading anything extraneous. If you get stuck, go to your Add Remove Programs. Try and get it done right away. Look to uninstall it. If you're really hosed, you may need to reformat. And with that said, always remember to back up, and we will see you next week. Bye. Say bye,
Take
Tom.
care, guys.
Bye.